Okay. So remember we needed that L then M. All we need is a K. There's a K in line 1, which is fairly easy to get to because this is an AND. We can't simplify yet because the K needs to be on the left-hand side. So we need to move it over, K and not J. That's from 1 by COM. That's a new one, tick. And exportation, I think that was a tick. So K from 6 by simplification. And now look at 5 and 7. If K, you get L then M. Well, I have a K, so I get L then M, 5, 7 modus ponens. Okay, so now I have my two pieces. Just put them together, L then M and M then L from 4 and 8. Conjunction. Okay. So 6. B, if and only if A is what we have to get to. We have A or not B. We have not A or Z and B. Okay. Okay, there is no, this is a biconditional, there is no biconditional in the premises, okay? So we have to make one, and there's only one rule that lets us get to a biconditional, and that's in the rules of replacement. And we have two options actually. We can look for B then A and A then B. If we have this, by material equivalence, we can get back to that. Or we could also look for this, B and A, or not B and not A. Okay, because we got that, we could go back to B if and only if A. Okay, I think that I'm just going to focus on this one. Okay, and I don't see that big thing anywhere, but notice that the main operator is an AND, which means if I can go get this by itself and then that by itself, then I can put them together by conjunction. So my first goal then is going to be B then A. Okay? Now, I don't have a B then A, but look, here's an A and a B together. It's not the form that we need, it's an OR, and we need conditionals, okay? So I do have a rule that lets me change ORs to conditionals. So let me use that rule. And the A would become a not A, the OR changes to a then, and this thing stays the same, so I get not B. That's from 1 by implication or material implication. And tick, I don't think we've used that before, okay? Now that not A then not B doesn't seem very helpful, but we have another rule that we haven't used if we were ticking them off, and that is transposition. That lets us swap antecedent and consequence on conditionals, and when we do, they change their signs. So it becomes B then A from 3 by transposition, okay? And that's one of the pieces I needed, okay? So now I'm after A then B, okay? And now this is going to be the hardest problem to see, and so we're going to use line 2, okay? And if I was, and this was a rule I hadn't used, I something. There's one rule that I haven't used so far, distribution, okay? And I'm gonna do a distribution on line 2, okay? And so I'm gonna distribute the not A to the Z, and I'm gonna distribute it also to the B. It's like I must split it up. So I'm gonna distribute the not A, I'm gonna distribute to a Z, and I'm gonna distribute it to a B. And the pattern is, this is the major operator, the main logical operator here, so it becomes the minor in the new one. So boom, boom. And the minor becomes the major, so this is the main logical operator. So that's what I would get from 2 by distribution, to distribution, okay? Now, we need A's and B's. This one has A's and Z's, so I don't want that. I want this, and I'll worry about putting it in a form that we want later. So first thing I have to do is, this is an and, I need to put this on the left-hand side so I can simplify to it. So I get not A or B and not A or Z from 5 by com. Now I'm simplifying this, so I'm getting rid of that. Not A or B from 6 simplification. And remember, I need conditionals, right? I need conditionals. This is an or, but I have a rule that lets me change it to an if-then. Not A would become A, or would become then, and B stays the same. That's that's 7 by implication or material implication. So now, look, I have B then A, and I have A then B. So we're going to put them together on the same line. B then A, and A then B. That's from 4 and 8. When we put them together, we're forming a conjunction, so it's conjunction. Okay. Now, we've already figured out how we're going to finish it, because we said this was the same as that by material equivalence. So we're just going to use material equivalence backwards, and that gets us B if and only if A by 9 material equivalence. So I really do think it helps, one, to tick off the rules as you've used them, because I try to use every rule at least once. I'm not going to use tautology, and I'm not going to use double negation, because we don't need those rules, right? And I'm going to say I'm trying to use all of the rules. That doesn't mean that I'll use all of them. It just means keep a list, and if you get stuck, look at the rules that you haven't used yet. Chances are one of those rules might get a key. Okay? B, if only if A, okay. Uh, 7. Prove Z. A and B and C. A, then K or L. 3 is not K, then L, then Z. Okay. There's my Z. That means I need this thing. Okay? Now let's think about what this thing is, this antecedent. It says not K, then L. But that is the very same thing as K or L by implication, right? So if I could find this, I could change it to that. And look what's right here, K or L. So this could be converted to that. So let me try to get K or L. What do I need? I need an A. Okay, there's an A up here. It's stuck with a bunch of other junk, so let's start getting rid of the other junk. So 4, this is an and, so I can simplify and get rid of the right side. So that gives me A and B from 1 by simplification. Now I can get rid of the B by simplification. So A from 4 by simplification. So now I got the A. That lets me get the K or L. K or L to 5 modus ponens. Okay? And I need not K then L. This is an or, then ors can be converted into if-thens. And what happens when you do? The K changes its sign to not K, and the or changes to a then, and L stays the same. That's how material implication works. So 6 implication, okay? So now I have this, which is the antecedent to 3. It says if you have this, and I do, then you get a Z. So we say Z from 3 and 7. Most ponens. Okay. So, you know, look, all these problems work. They all have answers, right? So, if you need a blob of L's and M's, look for a blob of L's and M's. Even if they don't have all the right operators, there's probably a way to use the rules of replacement to convert what you have to the kind of blob you need. Does everybody understand that? Because all these problems have solutions. It works out. That's one thing you should know. There is a solution, so playing hunches usually pays off. Does everybody understand that? You might not see how you're going to complete it completely, but you say, I know I need these, so just go get them, and then worry about converting them to what you need.